Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. And also keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. Alright folks, here we are just before market close on Tuesday, November 23rd. We're going to take a look at Lucid. Every Tuesday I covered Lucid, so if you are interested in that and you enjoy this video, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell. This way you'll know as these come out in the coming weeks. So Lucid starting to sort of claw back a bit here, kind of looking to attempt to settle in. It's had obviously this massive run up. I was just looking at Ortex here, showing showing exactly 112% increase in the price in the last month, which is obviously insanity. But you know, congrats to all the bulls and the call holders and that sort of thing, the long stockholders. But sort of, you know, what we talked about in last week's video was this gap that it had blown through, and that didn't provide much resistance on the way up, but therefore it may not provide any resistance or any support on the way down. And that's a bit of what you saw, but it did put in a nice looking candle here on the day that it tested it. Now it was down almost 10.5% this day, but most of the price action, the body of that candle, situating itself around that 4802 support level and doing a good job then of resisting falling back below that in subsequent days. And at this point, it's working to establish support at 50.34 and then working to it's treating 52.89 as resistance right now, and we'll see in the coming days, I suppose, if it wants to attempt to flip that from resistance to support in any way, shape, or form. But I wouldn't be surprised if it started to kind of consolidate, build a little bit of a base, take a little bit of a breath along this level where it is right now, either just above this like 50.34, which just represents the top of this gap, or even coming back down into the gap to condense there a little bit. But it does look like it wants to just sort of consolidate along this level at the moment. And we do see this taking shape several times in the past, right? You see a bit of run up from here, right? That was actually a decent run up from 16 up to 27. And then it took a breath for several days before the next big run up. And then it took a breath for just a few days, and then a big run up, breath, big run. And now we're sort of working on that consolidation phase after that run up. So question on a consolidation phase, of course, is always, where's the next break going to come? It's going to break to the upside or to the downside, and who's going to kind of take charge in that run? Obviously, a lot of speculation that Lucid is pretty far extended at this point, but also a lot of, you know, excitement around what they are doing, and that a lot of their vision, a lot of what they've promised is starting to actually come to pass, and people seeing these cars on the road, people seeing what's going on in the factories, the pre-orders being filled and that sort of thing. So a lot of excitement around there. So it'll be interesting to see exactly where that flows in the coming days and weeks, but it's looking like it wants to start consolidating at the moment, and you know, nice for the bulls if it's going to consolidate over this gap, and that will give it some resistance levels, you know, ahead of the gap. So still, these gaps tend to be a bit risky in the sense that there isn't a lot of support there, like we were saying a few minutes ago. But if it can build this base at or slightly above that gap, then that would secure some support around that area. Now on the EMA side of things, you see it's coming down toward this 12, which has provided really good support all the way up, right? Every time it's gotten tied in to that, it's been able to continue to follow it up, sometimes getting pretty far away from it. And even the wick of this candle, you know, the candle was able to close above the 12 EMA, and the wick, even though it stretched below, you know, this one getting really tight in, and again, getting pretty close at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see if it does come down to test that 12, what it wants to do at that moment. But that's what I'm looking for the time being. Volume staying, you know, pretty strong. I mean, I know it's trailing off a little bit, but you see as it trailed off here, and that was just a few days that it took a breath there, and then it just spiked back up again. So just kind of waiting to see if it's going to continue to move sideways here and confirm that it's building a base there. And like I said, waiting to see where it wants to confirm its next breakout to the upside or to the downside. Now, we want to flip over and look a little closer in at the data. Like we said, the 112, really great month. So congrats, and anyone who's reaping the benefits of that. At this point, extended up over analyst price targets. So it'd be interesting to see if some of those can come in the coming days or weeks. That could provide some additional catalysts for additional sort of share seekers to come in and start buying up some shares. On the short data side of things, shorts coming down quite a bit today, but pretty close to that 10% short interest percentage of the free float, at least per Ortex's estimates. And that's the level at which, I start to sort of say, okay, this could be a bit of selling pressure, at least optically, sort of short and distort, as they say, in the public facing market. So it could appear as though there's a lot of selling pressure even if there isn't. We see that this was up a bit higher here at the end of September and has continued to come down and bat itself around below that peak level on September 27th on the estimated short interest. That is all looking good. On the flow side of things, Lucid having a bit of a mixed flow recently. It was obviously very, very bearish previously, and then you see that bearish flow predominating here. This is all today because there's so much activity at the moment. But if you want to take a look at the intraday, the large scale orders only, the biggest option trades from today, still pretty bullish. I mean, comparatively speaking, for all that Lucid has delivered on lately, no pun intended, really, really solid bullish whale volume still coming in. 4.4 million in premium. I mean, these are huge trades, right? And this 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, these are 10, and 4 are bearish. So slightly to the bullish side from the largest. But you see a lot of these are probably, actually a lot of these aren't as future dated as I see. A lot of times when I see these biggest option trades, many of them are like 2023 or late 2022. These are actually pretty tight in. I mean, even this 1217, I mean, that's it's honestly pretty rare from a lot of what I've seen. But it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But that's what the flow looks like. And to my mind, it's a bit of a holding pattern at the moment to kind of see which way, like I said, it wants to break. But the next best thing for the bulls, like I was saying, bumping up over this resistance level here, which is hard to tell because it's pretty tight in to where the price is. So I can't exactly see, but it's something like 52.86-ish, which it's testing right now, you see, toward the end of the day here. But yeah, congrats if you've caught any of this run and interested to see where it goes from here. It's been quite a ride. All right, folks. Well, in any case, I hope that you are having a good trading week and that you enjoy the short trading week that we have. Don't forget that is happening this week. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.